Hey, did you see this?
No, see what?
The pilots going on strike?
No, why are pilots striking?
They're striking because some of the airlines are now requiring vaccines for their pilots. Some of the pilots don't want to get the vaccine, and this has resulted in the pilots striking and 50% fewer flights in the last couple of weeks.
Huh, those are about the same numbers about with what happened about 40 years ago, and everyone was scared the economy was going to tank.
What happened 40 years ago?
The PATCO strike?
What's PATCO?
PATCO is the Professional Air Traffic Controllers Organization.
Oh, I do actually think I remember learning about that.
Yeah, about 13,000 out of the 17,500 controllers in the United States just walked off their jobs one day.
And didn't 11,000 of them get fired on August 5th?
Yeah, that's because of a law that was passed in 1955 where civil service workers aren't allowed to strike, and if they do, they're liable to be fired.
Oh, yeah.
But do you remember why they went on strike? I can't remember.
Yeah, I do think I remember. I think they wanted $700 million for the government for better pay, better benefits, and better quality of work, especially a 32-hour work week if possible.
Huh. And weren't they offered something like a 14th of what they wanted?
Yeah, they were only offered $40 million. And you want to know the worst part?
What was the worst part?
PATCO was one of the few unions that supported Reagan during his election campaign. And a month after this happened, he crushed PATCO altogether.
Wow, what a snake.
Yeah, the good news is that NATCA, the air traffic controllers formed NATCA a year later.
Huh, well, at least they have representation.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever see that Reagan video?
What video?
The video where he talked on national television about the workers needed to come back to work in 48 hours because they signed a contract when they signed up saying that they were going to not strike against the United States government.
No, I haven't seen that.
Here, I'll show you.
This morning at 7 a.m., the union representing those who man America's air traffic control facilities called a strike. This was the culmination of 7 months of negotiations between the Federal Aviation Administration and the union. At one point in these negotiations, agreement was reached and signed by both sides, granting a $40 million increase in salaries and benefits. This is twice what other government employees can expect. It was granted in recognition of the difficulties inherent in the work these people perform. Now, however, the union demands are 17 times what had been agreed to, $681 million. This would impose a tax burden on their fellow citizens which is unacceptable. I would like to thank the supervisors and controllers who are on the job today helping to get the nation's air system operating safely. In the New York area, for example, 4 supervisors were scheduled to report for work and 17 additionally volunteered. At National Airport, a traffic controller told a newsperson he had resigned from the union and reported to work because, quote, "how can I ask my kids to obey the law if I don't?" End quote. This is a great tribute to America. Let me make one thing plain. I respect the right of workers in the private sector to strike. Indeed, as president of my own union, I led the first strike ever called by that union. I guess I'm maybe the first one to ever hold this office who is a lifetime member of an AFL-CIO union. But we cannot compare labor management relations in the private sector with government. Government cannot close down the assembly line. It has to provide without interruption the protective services which are government's reason for being. It was in recognition of this that the Congress passed a law forbidding strikes by government employees against the public safety. Let me read the solemn oath taken by each of these employees, the sworn affidavit when they accepted their jobs. I am not participating in any strike against the government of the United States or any agency thereof, and I will not so participate while an employee of the government of the United States or any agency thereof. It is for this reason that I must tell those who fail to report for duty this morning they are in violation of the law, and if they do not report for work within 48 hours, they have forfeited their jobs and will be terminated.
Damn, that was a crazy video. But did you see that Reagan lied right there?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
Well, he said that PATCO and the government had agreed on that $40 million increase when they never did. It was just proposed to PATCO from the government. So I think he did that to sway public opinion onto his side so there would be no backlash when he decided to fire the controllers.
Huh, I didn't even catch that. But the good news is they righted their wrongs.
How so?
Well, after Reagan left office and Clinton came in, those air traffic controllers that got fired were then allowed to get rehired if they had proper qualifications and if they went through training.
Well, that's good. At least they realized they were wrong a few years ago.
Yeah, and air traffic control today is a really good job.
How so?
Well, they didn't get the 32-hour work week that they wanted, but they did get multiple breaks in each shift. They get a median salary of $125,000. They get better benefits, and they get better pensions than they did before. And they have an early retirement age of 56.
Well, that sounds like a really good job.
Yeah, it is a really good job. One of my professors in college, Mr. Ball, said he loved it, except for this one asshole named QQ.
QQ. Do I want to know about QQ?
Nah, you don't even want to know.
Alright, well, I'm going to start researching now.
Alright.